Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you've had a fantastic day. I've had a great week. As always, if you got any questions or comments or anything, just drop them in the chat and I will hopefully see those. I saw a quote this week that I really liked, and I think it's a great reminder, refresher to think about. And the quote is this: I have to constantly re-identify myself to myself, reactivate my own standards, my own convictions about what I'm doing and why. And that was said by the marvelous Nina Simone. And I am by no means a Nina Simone scholar, but I know that she trained as a concert pianist, and due to the times she was living in, she was not allowed the privilege of an audience, because of her race, because of her sex, that sort of thing. And so she was able to pivot and explore and actually create a whole new world of her own. Her music is very individual, very distinct, very unique. So being denied entrance through one door, she re-identified herself. She reimagined herself. And she created a whole other door through which she walked. Hi, Maria. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And I think that this is a good quote for us to keep in mind in general. Hopefully we don't ever encounter the division that Nina Simone did. But I still think that it's important for us to re-identify ourselves, to reactivate our own standards, our own convictions about what we're doing and why. And I think the first thing maybe to practice this is to give ourselves permission to reevaluate. Sometimes it's easy to kind of carve out a personality and then hold on to that personality, as opposed to having a personality carved out and then letting life continue to sculpt us. So I think giving ourselves permission to reevaluate ourselves is very important. I think it's harder the older you get. And we do this by letting go of past iterations, past ideas, past versions of ourselves that are no longer us. You know, it doesn't even matter in what area it may be, but in something that just is not resonate with us, or is not true to who we really are. Maybe it's our sense of humor changed, or our taste in a band that we used to like changed. It can be whatever it is. But we got to let go of these past versions of ourselves and do it without a second thought. You know, it kind of reminds me of like when a snake sheds its skin, you know, it just outgrows its former self and moves along. We don't want to keep these old habits that maybe constrain us, make us smaller than who we really are or who we really could be. So when we let go of the past like that, it creates the opportunity for new growth, right? I'm sure you've heard that before. Physical examples include letting go of old clothes in your closet so you can perhaps buy some new ones that fit you better, or that represent you better, or that you feel more comfortable in, whatever it may be. I think another important aspect of this quote is that it reminds us to not get caught up in someone else's version of us. Sometimes we want someone else to like us, or we want to feel included. Everyone wants to feel included to some degree, right? Nobody wants to not be included, because being included feels good. It feels accepted, right? But sometimes if we worry, or if we don't express, who we really are out of fear of not being included, that's really stunting our growth in a dangerous way. So I think when we are re-identifying ourselves to ourselves, we're reactivating our standards, our convictions, not someone else's standards and someone else's convictions. That person already exists. They're taking care of that space. We have our own space that we need to take care of, and nobody else can authentically take care of it for us. So we're responsible for that space, because we're the only version of ourselves. Let somebody else be their own person. Don't try to copy them. Don't try to worry about what they'll think about your thoughts or your ideas. If they don't like them and they don't accept them, there's somebody over here who will. It's easy to say. I know it's easy to say, because it hurts to not feel a part of a group. But these little live streams are as much for me as for anybody else. So these are little reminders for me. The kind of last thing that I wanted to touch on was I like the very last part of her quote, where she talks about her convictions about what she's doing and why. I think that's great. What are you doing and why? It's very important. 2 questions. What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Am I doing it to fulfill one of my goals? Am I doing it to fulfill someone else's goal? Society's goal? A goal perhaps beyond even that? Why are you doing this? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? And this is why I think it's been very beneficial for me to write down my intentions. I do this every day. I got a little notebook and I write down my intentions. And when you have an intention and you write it down for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 5 week, 6 week straight, maybe little words start to change within your intention, right? I set the intention to what? To what? What do you set the intention to do? And I've noticed that within mine intentions, like a little word will change and it will be of big importance, right? It will change the entire intention. And having written it down for the past X number of weeks, I can see it. I can see it physically changing. And that's helpful, because I know people like to visualize. So it really helps me to see the words change as I write down my intentions. And it may just be 1 or 2 words, but those tweaks, man, those little adjustments, that's where it's all about, finding out your intentions, your convictions about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And that's like some of the most powerful stuff there is, if you know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. It's a purpose. And with a purpose, goals, ideas, life in general is much easier than without a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you got to start making up a little one to get you through the day. My purpose today is to get out of bed. My purpose today is to eat, whatever it may be. But you got to have a purpose. And you got to know what it is and why it's there. Oh man. I hope this was cool. Maria, thank you for tuning in. As always, there's in the little YouTube description of the video, there's a little show more. There's some links down in there you can check out. And it's a little outline that I used for today's live stream. So I hope everybody has a fantastic day. And I'm here on Saturdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune in next time. And I'll see you then.